Hello everyone, welcome to today's class, and today's title is Spectacular Recovery. Let's move on to language focus. 1번. He had failed the test, not because he wasn't smart enough, but because he hadn't studied well enough. Okay. So, use not because, but because, to clarify why something happened. 뭐뭐 하기 때문에 kind of thing. So, but like you would probably use it in like 뜨는 아니라 때문이다. Alright. So let's highlight this whole part here. So let's use our first example. I'll just move it down here. Okay. McDonald's is popular not because its food is the best, but because its food is consistent. 맥도날드가 인기 있는 이유는 음식이 최고라서가 아니라 음식이 일관성이 있기 때문이다. Alright, so McDonald's, I think, is the best fast food restaurant, to be honest with you, but it's not the best food in the world, obviously. However, the reason why people love it so much is because it's consistent. So whenever you order a Big Mac, you're going to get the same Big Mac every time. It's going to taste the same. It's going to look the same, basically. Or, I studied Korean not because it's required for my job, but because it's interesting. 저는 한국어를 공부하는 이유가 제 일에 필요해서가 아니라 재밌었어요. Okay? So, it's, I don't need to study Korean. However, I enjoy it, so therefore, I study it. Okay, now let's look at 2번. Dr. Bawendi realized early in his academic career that he could do better and that it wasn't a question of having or lacking talent. So, not a question of. How do we use this? We use not a question of to express that something is not what's important. Something is not what's important. So, 중요하지 않습니다. So, whatever, 중요하지 않다. Alright. So if we look at the example here, happiness in life is not a question of making a lot of money. It's more important to live in a healthy, well-balanced way. So 인생에 행복한 돈을 많이 버는 문제가 아니다. 건강하고 균형 있게 사는 것이 더 중요하다. Maybe. I still think money is extremely important. Money would make me more happy, but, that's, everyone keeps saying, money doesn't buy happiness, but I think it does, in a way. Okay, playing sports is not just a question of winning or losing games. The discipline that you learn from athletic training is what's really important. So, 스포츠를 한다는 것은 단순히 경기를 이기느냐, 지느냐의 문제가 아니다. 운동 훈련을 통해 배우는 훈련이 정말 중요하다. I agree with that, but obviously we all like to win. Okay, now let's move on to the language focus quiz. 1번. I like not because but because So remember we said 뭐뭐 아니라 뭐뭐 때문이다. So example, McDonald's is popular not because its food is the best, but because its food is consistent. 맥도날드가 인기가 있는 이유는 음식이 최고라서가 아니라 음식이 일관성이 있기 때문이다. So my example, what will I say? I like I don't know, sandwiches. Not because they are easy to make, but because they are tasty. So, 나는 샌드위치가 만들기 쉬워서가 아니라 맛있어서 좋다. 2번, is successful not because but because Say Yan is successful not because I don't know, she is pretty, but because she is a hard worker. Okay, 예은이가 성공하는 이유는 예뻐서가 아니라 열심히 하는 사람, 일하는 사람 이기 때문이다. Okay, 3번. Is not a question of having or lacking. Okay. So, let's say preparation is not a question of having or lacking skills. 준비는 부족한 기술의 문제가 아니다. So preparation is all about preparing. You don't need skills to prepare, basically is what we're saying. 4번. Playing chess is not a question of luck. It's more important to have a strategy. Okay. So 체스를 두는 것은 운의 문제가 아니라 전략을 세우는 것이 더 중요하다. Alright, now let's move on to further discussions. Have you ever started to take a test and realized you had no clue how to answer the questions? Give details. So I highlighted had no clue. Remember, all the way up top, what was it? To have no clue, 전혀 모르다. So, 시험을 보기 시작했는데 질문에 어떻게 대답해야 할지 전혀 몰랐다는 것을 깨달은 적이 있나요? 자세한 내용을 알려주세요. Give details. I think a lot of the tests that I took in school, I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I really didn't concentrate a lot in school. I don't know how I passed, but I still managed to get a university degree, so maybe I'm just lucky. There was a subject in university that I actually did very well in, and I didn't understand how I did so well because I just didn't understand the whole subject, and that was statistics. I worked really hard on the statistics exam, and I still didn't understand at the end of the exam what I did and what was the meaning of what I did. That is one situation where I took a test and realized I don't know how to answer this, but I somehow managed to get quite a good grade, so I was very shocked. 2번. Do you know anybody who seemed to lack talent but worked hard and did well? Give details. 재능이 부족할 것 같으면서도 열심히 해서 잘하는 사람이 있나요? Yeah, in high school, I used to be good friends with a classmate. And he and I used to just play around in class all the time. We used to talk a lot. We never used to concentrate. But whenever we came down to the test date, he was the top of the class all the time. So though he didn't pay attention in class because of me, he always managed to do really well on the tests. So he seemed to lack talent because he wasn't that interested in class, but behind the scenes, I guess he must have studied really, really hard when I wasn't around, and wasn't making, him distracted. I guess I wasn't distracting him. Behind the scenes, he must have been working really hard because he always managed to do well on tests. Anyway, that wraps it up for today's class, and I'll see you on the next class.
Cut out 4.
Cut out 4.
A big fish in a small pond.
A big fish in a small pond.
Ace.
Ace.
Have no clue.
Have no clue.
Wake up call.
Wake up call.
Epiphany.
Epiphany.